Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Taurus collective in late June 2026? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus in late June. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this going here, my good friends. We're going to have some fun today, as we usually do, right? There we go. Cool. All right, Little Red Riding Hood. And don't get freaked out about this card. Whenever I see the big bad wolf eyeing her down, to me, this could also represent focus, but I don't think it's like we're raising the alarm right now, right? We're not raising a red flag just yet, but before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So as you can see, I'm sure many of you have heard the tale of Little Red Riding Hood, and that's kind of what this card depicts, right? We have Red Riding Hood there. She's walking on the path. There's a lot of nature around her. We got the big bad wolf eyeing her down from the back. Now, again, we're going to look within the reading itself. I'm not going to say that this is like imminent danger or warning, 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 or anything you need to be nervous about. To me, this could literally just be about focus, like focused intent, focused intention. Like, what situations, what are you keeping your attention on, right? I'm a big believer that thoughts become things. And sometimes if we're like hyper fixated on something that could, stall them out. I don't want to go down this whole manifestation path itself. But to me, this is about focused intention. Now, for some Tauruses, hey, maybe you are getting a little more attention than you usually are, right? That could be part of it. Whether it's at work, whether it's personal relationships, maybe there's something you need to pay a little more attention to. You would know your situation better than I do. Because to me, that's like the main vibe I get with this card is like either there's something I need to keep a very close eye on, or maybe there's something keeping an eye on me. So we'll see if we continue to get those themes throughout the reading. But I'm not going to say there's any warning just yet. We're going to put them down right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Taurus friends. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled The Big Return. And I saw the door open for a whole variety and multitude of different things popping back up. So whether it was situations, whether it was like cycles that we seem to have lived through before, whether it's individuals, that energy could bleed over for a few weeks, right? And I've been seeing this for a lot of the zodiac in recent weeks. There must be something going on with the astrological transits, but don't be surprised if you hear from things or people or situations that you haven't heard from in quite a while. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my Taurus friends. What do we have in late June, please? Thank you. Cool. Very, very conversational for some reason. Okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles in position number 1. I like that. That's definitely a good start. I love aces. They're one of my favorites. Let's get a couple more here. We're going to keep it optimistic, hopefully. Yeah, very conversational for some reason. So we have the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. These energies somewhat mirror each other. Let's get one more out. What do we got here for Taurus? Thank you. Cool. Very, very earthy. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. I mean, this is, if this was like a fire sign reading or even an air sign reading, I'd be like, okay, this energy might be a little too much. But for a Taurus reading, this could actually be super, super good and comfortable. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like it frames the reading and tells us how the energy could flow. And as you can see, we have all the same element this week, which makes it much easier to talk about the elements since we're just talking about one. Now, I do say that when we have too much of one singular element, it can make the energy a little bit lopsided, right? So that's something we need to pay attention as we move through the reading itself. But we have the Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, cool. Now, Taurus being a fixed earth sign with all this very earthy energy, this is your comfort zone. This is your power element, your power place. So for a Taurus reading, this could actually be super nice and comfy, which I think is really great. But what do we think about when it comes to the earth element? I think of results. I think of security and stability. I think of predictability. I think about routine. I think of day to day life. I think of money, work, business, finance, home, and family. Those are the main things I think of with Earth. So the Earth that we live in, uh, not the emotional or the mental or the actions. This is like the results, and it's like what we exist within, right? If the world is a stage, this is the stage and the props, right? And that's a good thing. But the downside to too much earth energy is the fact that, yeah, it can be very stubborn. It can be very slow moving. Sometimes we could feel bored. Sometimes we could feel stuck. So, like if you're having cabin fever or there's something that you really want to switch up or change up, when there's a lot of earth energy, it could feel like it's working against us. So, that's something we want to pay attention to as we work through the reading. But for the Taurus collective, this could actually be like heaven on earth type of energy, right? But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Ace of Pentacles. Now, I mentioned it when the card popped out. I'll say it again. I love all aces, especially in the first part of a reading, because to me, aces represent offers and opportunity. And we see the universe with the hand out offering this pentacle. And to me, this is a golden opportunity, something that could potentially just plop into our lap. So I love this ace in the first position. Now, just like with every card, it can have some downsides. Ace of Pentacles is big when it comes to conversation, especially written communication. So that's something to watch out for in this time. Uh, Even with the page right next to it, there's a lot of chit chat. There's a lot of talking going on that we want to pay attention to as we move through. And hopefully it's good type of conversation. But the downside to all aces is that they're limited time offers, right? Like it's not guaranteed. This has a lot of great energetic potential, but it's not a foregone conclusion, right? So like this might be something that you still need to work for. This might be something that you still need to reach out and grab, right? The universe is handing it to you, but you might need to grab it. So we'll see what's up with it because sometimes aces can be a little flighty, right? They could be a little flaky. So we'll keep an eye on. And again, it could just be a conversation of some sort. We don't need to overcomplicate the whole thing. Now, moving to the middle, the Page of Pentacles has a very similar energetic profile to the Ace of Pentacles, that's for sure. All pages represent new, they represent fresh. So I love this. So we have a good burst of positive, forward looking energy here on the front. This is one of your power cards, right? It's very youthful and fresh. And if you're connected to another earth sign, it could represent them. All pages are messengers and they're also students. So with all this energy of like offers and opportunities and fresh new things, and the Page of Pentacles now could be a great time to put your focus on new ventures, new business ideas, new conversations, like whatever. Like you just say what like the energy's fresh. That's what I'm really trying to put forward here. But the Page of Pentacles is super studious, very smart and intelligent, but the downside of this page, it can be very shy. Sometimes it can represent wanting to do something or wanting to say something, but being very unsure about it. So that's something we want to watch out for with this combination because there's a lot of great energetic potential, but it might second guess itself. I don't want to say it's going to shoot itself in its own foot, but it's an energy where it's like, should I, shouldn't I? It's an energy that could absolutely overcomplicate or overthink it. But again, this could just be conversational, right? I've been saying that since the first card popped out. I'm getting like a flood of communication. Now, on the back end, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful. And I think this really can work in your benefit. We see the beautiful lady. She's outside in her backyard. She's got her little pet bird. She's just chilling. She's happy. This is a card of blessings and abundance. So we really love this Nine of Pentacles. Solid, stable, predictable. What you see is what you get. This is a huge card of independence where it's like, I don't need help. I'll do it myself, or I got this. It's great for entrepreneurial pursuits. But the downside of her is that she can get complacent. This is an energy that could feel stuck in place. It's an energy that could be a little too comfortable and not step outside of its comfort zone. So there's something we need to look out for here because it's like, should I do this? Oh, I want to do this. Should I do that? I want to do that. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll just stay where things are comfortable. So again, I'm not saying it's you. It could be somebody else that's like not willing to take a leap. Um, Sometimes, again, with all this earthy energy, it could feel a little stuck. It could feel a little blah. So I'd watch out for that type of energy. But I think overall, this could be a fantastic reading for some of you. I want to dive deeper on all of it, though. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Taurus, please? What do we got for our good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Ace of Pentacles. Let's see what that has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Ace of Pentacles here. What do we got? What do we got for our good friends? Good. Yeah, more of this earthy type of energy. Could this be some really good, exciting news? Potentially. So we have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. I really love how this makes me feel intuitively. Now, again, that's another one of your power cards. So notice, 4 of my 6 cards are out. 4 of them are your power element, and 2 of them are literal Taurus power cards. So, I mean, you can't get much better than what we're looking at already, unless we're fitting that same theme we've been talking about, where this energy could feel like just very set in its ways. So the only thing that feels frustrating to me potentially is if you're dealing with an individual that is like very set or stuck in their ways, or a situation that doesn't seem to be progressing. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles in the upright, this could absolutely be some like really great, exciting, or amazing news, right? The Queen of Pentacles, I link her to Empress type of energy. So I think of blessings and abundance. I think of happiness and goodness. So for a lot of you, this could be some like really great, really exciting news that you may have been waiting on, or an offer or opportunity coming in. Now, offers could be a few different things, right? Sometimes an offer is an emotional offer. Sometimes it's a monetary, work-related, business-related one. But I feel like the door is open for a lot of Tauruses in this time to receive offers kind of out of the blue, because that's like what I'm picking up here. If we're not getting an exciting talk, this could be surprising, unexpected offer too, where it's like kind of completely out of the blue. But we're going to see how it moves forward. I like what I'm feeling here. I just hope we get a little more elemental difference, right? Because if it's all earth, I mean, then it gets a little polarizing, right? Then it's either the best reading in the world, or it could be really frustrating. But let's see what's up with the page. We'll see what he has. So why do we got the Page of Pentacles here for the beautiful Taurus collective? What do we got for our friends? What do we got? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I saw this something very similar here in the Virgo. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse underneath this Page of Pentacles, and that is absolutely an energy where it's like, okay, I've seen what I need to see. Now I'm going to say something. If this is someone that's been like mulling something over, making a decision, really plotting their course, when I see the Page of Pentacles with the Hanged Man, it's like, okay, now it's time to say something. Now it's time to act. This could absolutely be a response at the same time too. So I think that's great. Now, one thing to mention, the Hanged Man, when he shows up in the upright, which it didn't in this time, he's in reverse, but when he shows up in the upright, he's retracted, pulled back, watching, analyzing, taking in information, not acting quite yet. So in reverse, underneath this Page of Pentacles, it's like, okay, now it's time to act. Now it's time to do something. So it's like the door opens, I walk through it. So for a lot of Tauruses, there could be certain things or situations that are opened unto you or presented to you, but you might just have to walk through that door. That's the thing. So a lot of times we have to meet the universe in the middle, right? Not every time, but a lot of times. And that's kind of how this feels to me. Now, this is very conversational once again, because it's like offer, response, offer, response. So watch out for negotiation in this time too. I'm not saying that like someone's going to try to talk you down or negotiate, but I don't know. It feels like a negotiation, which is super specific. Only take it if it hits. But we're going to keep moving. I think it's okay. I feel like it's good. Let's see what the Nine of Pentacles has, because again, we're in this earthy energy. Even the Hanged Man is like very earthy in its presentation. So let's see why the Nine of Pentacles is here before our recap. So why is the Nine of Pentacles here? Okay, that's good. All right, so there is energy leaning towards action, and I think that's a really good thing. So we have the Fool in the upright, where it's like I'm building up confidence in something or a situation, where it's like a slow build. So I feel like there isn't something where you have to make a choice today or a decision today. To me, it's like a slow climb. Have you ever been on a roller coaster and it's going up, 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 and then the ride starts. This is how this feels to me. It's like we're on the upswing, we're on the climb, and it's like slow, steady improvement. And I think that's actually really beautiful. I'd rather it be slow and meticulous than like all explosive at once, if that makes sense. Now, the Fool is the protagonist of the tarot deck. Usually it's happy and it's joyful. It is action oriented, that's for sure. So, like, when I see him, like, we have the action starting here, and then the Fool under the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, okay, now it's time to act. It's like, I got the idea, I start laying the groundwork, boom, now it's time to act. So we do have this fiery action on the back end, which I think is great. But to me, it's like someone slowly building the motivation, slowly building up to something. Now, if that's not you, this could be someone that you're dealing with where it's like, okay, they're slowly building up to this, or they're slowly building up to something. I think it's good. I think it's claimable actually for most of you. But the only thing I think could be a bit risky is with the Fool card, sometimes it can act first, ask questions later. So there could be someone that they might feel like something's taking too long and they just like rush something forward. Watch out for that in this time where it's like, okay, can we just skip all this and just get to the good stuff? It's like one of those. So like it can be like fiery action here on the back end, very sudden action. I've been seeing that for a lot of people. But I would say overall the reading looks pretty good. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. Whether you're a Taurus or you're connected to one, I think the energy is moving in a good direction. But if you kindly look here, position number one, we have the Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles in the upright. Could this be an exciting news or offer or opportunity? Absolutely. It could be a surprising one that pops up out of the blue. You might need to take some time to mull it over as we move over to the center, because it's like we have offer, response, offer, and then, I'm bargaining. It's like, all right, well, how about this? How about that? It's like you ever barter with somebody where it's like, I offer you this. No, how about this? I'll give you $50. Make it 45. I don't know. There's like this bartering going on, which is really unique. So just watch out for that. It's like going over a contract as well. But moving to the back end, there is this slow build towards action and forward movement that I really do like. Yeah, there's a lot of talks and conversations going on, but we have the Nine of Pentacles with the Fool. That seems great to me. That could be a potential breakthrough or fiery action on the back end. The only downside to me is if someone gets impatient, where it's like, can we just skip the formalities? Can we skip all this and just jump to the end? Because I feel like these formalities, this slow build is absolutely necessary. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got? Thank you. Queen of Swords. Yeah, so I've been saying since the beginning, very chattery, and it doesn't surprise me that another person shows up here in the shadows. Queen of Swords could be an air sign, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And I love the Queen of Swords energy because she's like very logical, strategic, straightforward to the point, very shrewd, very intelligent. So that's great if you're stepping into this. But what is the shadow side of the Queen of Swords? Unless you're connected to an air sign, of course, you might be going through some issues. The Queen of Swords can have a very sharp tongue. And when I have all this communication, conversation, and bartering, and back and forth, the Queen of Swords can get very impatient with that. She could get very impatient with formality. She could get very impatient and like harsh with her words. So again, watch out for anyone that's a little too cold, a little too surgical or clinical in their approach, because she could be very mean and she could say some very mean things. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to do that, but just again, if you're dealing with somebody that's a little too ice cold or just a little too blunt, just watch out for that in this time with the Queen of Swords. Unless you're dealing with an air sign, of course, right? If you're stepping into this, it can be used good for good because she's very logical and intelligent. So we're going to put the Queen of Swords down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, The winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.